Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report that has a major leadership shakeup. It's like musical chairs but with executive positions. Let's see who got a seat and who's left standing. This is an 8K filing, which is basically an urgent update a company sends to the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, when something important happens, like a big change in leadership or a major agreement. This one is from Capital Southwest Corporation, and the date of the report is February 17th, 2025. Capital Southwest Corporation, that's the full name of the company. They are located in Texas. If you want to buy their stocks, look for the ticker symbol CSWC. It trades on the NASDAQ Global Select Market. They also have some notes, which are like bonds with the ticker CSWCZ. Okay, here's the juicy part. The company made a deal, a transition and release agreement with Bowen Deal. This means Mr. Deal is leaving his role as an executive officer, meaning a top leader, and also leaving the board of directors as of February 17th, 2025. So what does Mr. Deal get as he leaves Capital Southwest? He's getting what's called a transition and release agreement. In the agreement, he is entitled to 1. A payment equal to 12 months of his regular salary, which is a total of $625,000, and they're paying it all at once in a lump sum. 2. He will also receive $375,000, that is in lieu of any bonus. It's as if to say he will be awarded a bonus as well. 3. The company will continue to pay for his health insurance under COBRA for the next 12 months. COBRA lets you continue your health insurance coverage after leaving a job, but usually you have to pay for it yourself. In this case, the company is paying for it. 4. He gets to keep over 100,000 shares of restricted stock that he was previously awarded. Restricted stock is stock that you can't sell right away. It has to vest, meaning you have to work for a certain period of time to earn full ownership of it. However, he is forfeiting almost 100,000 additional shares of restricted stock as part of his departure, so he keeps some but loses a good chunk too. Finally, Mr. Deal is also agreeing to provide consulting services to the company for the next year as needed related to his old job. Think of it as being on call for advice. Now, let's talk about who's taking over. Bowen Deal, who we just talked about, leaving step down as president and CEO, which is chief executive officer, the top boss, and also left his spot on the board. The board is the group of people who oversee the company. Michael Sarner is the new president and CEO. He was previously the chief financial officer, or CFO, which means he was in charge of the money side of things, and also the chief compliance officer, making sure the company follows all the rules. He was also the secretary. Now, he's giving up those roles to take the top job. He is also joining the board. So, who is Michael Sarner anyway? Well, he is 52 years old and has been with the company since 2015, so almost 10 years. He is considered to be very experienced in the finance world. He also apparently helped raise a lot of capital for the company, which is important. Basically, he has been involved in raising over $2 billion in debt and equity. Before this company, he spent 15 years at American Capital. With Michael Sarner moving up, someone needs to fill his old shoes. That someone is Chris Rehberger. He was the Executive Vice President of Finance and Treasurer. Now he is taking over as CFO, Treasurer, and Secretary. Chris Rehberger is 40 years old. He has been with the company since 2015 and spent 10 years at American Capital, just like Michael Sarner, working in finance roles. And there's one more promotion to talk about, Tabitha Geiger. She was the Deputy Compliance Officer, meaning she helped make sure the company followed the rules, and now she's the Chief Compliance Officer taking over that role. Tabitha Geiger is 34 years old and has almost 10 years of compliance experience. She used to consult with private equity and hedge fund managers, so she knows her stuff. Finally, this section is just listing the exhibits, which are extra documents attached to the report, including the actual transition and release agreement with Bowen Deal and a press release about all these changes. Okay, so what does all this mean for Capital Southwest Corporation? Well, on one hand, you have a big leadership change at the top, with the CEO stepping down and a new one taking over. That can create uncertainty as the company adjusts to new leadership and strategies. In addition, with the old CEO leaving, the company is paying him a significant amount of money and benefits as part of his transition, which is cash leaving the company. But on the other hand, the company seems to have a solid succession plan in place, with experienced executives already within the company stepping up to fill the key roles. Michael Sana, the new CEO, has been with the company for a while and knows the business well, and the other promotions suggest the company is confident in its internal talent. So even with these shakeups, it appears as if the company's operations will remain relatively stable. Of course, there are always risks to consider, such as the risk that the new leadership team may not be as effective as the old one, or that the company may face unexpected challenges in the future. But based on what we know now, Capital Southwest Corporation seems to be in a decent position moving forward. So what is the value of this company? That is always a great question. One thing that we look at is the company's price to earnings ratio, which compares the company's stock price to its earnings per share. If we look at this type of company, a reasonable price to earnings ratio is around 10 to 15. Given the company's current earnings and based on these leadership changes, a price range of $20 to $25 per share seems reasonable. Overall, I would say that Capital Southwest Corporation is a neutral pick with a bullish bias. The leadership changes introduce some uncertainty, but the company has a strong team in place and a solid track record, indicating that this company is well positioned to succeed. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe.